Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called Valentine's Day. The ingredients you need: a half ounce of vodka, a half a lime, 5 ounces of grapefruit juice. And here's how you're going to make Valentine's Day. You're going to fill a highball glass with ice, pour the vodka, and squeeze in half of that lime, leaving the lime wedge in the glass. Then pour in 5 ounces of the grapefruit, garnish with the grapefruit peel, and gently stir. And that, my friends, is Valentine's Day. Kiki, you be saying Valentine's Day.
Don't do me, Medina. Not today. You know good and goddamn well you ain't never heard me say no damn Valentine's Day. No.
People really say Valentine's Day.
They say Valentine's. They say library.
Axe.
Want instead of won't.
Computer instead of computer.
Won't instead of want. And then somehow, this is people from North Carolina. Sorry to our North Carolina people. Have you ever heard somebody from one of the Carolinas that'll say won't, but they say it like won't, weren't, and wasn't as if one word? Like they throw an R in there somehow. I don't know how. It'd be like
wasn't. You'd be
weren't.
like, wait, hold on. What are we doing? And sometimes you just can't even correct people nowadays because people get mad. And I get it. Because sometimes
I be stuck. I know I got an accent, but I'm Southern, baby, not incorrect.
Right. Salmon is not salmon. It is salmon.
Oh my gosh. I saw a YouTube comment the other day that was like, I say that too. And I'm like, well, fix it. Why y'all want to be loud and wrong? I say that too. Okay. And now that you know, I've said words wrong. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. There's lots of things that maybe I don't know. I don't know. But when I figure out that I don't fucking know it, I'm going to learn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
This is our first recording of February. The episode you guys heard last week, we pre-recorded it. I like the little breaks that we've been giving ourselves.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It gives us time to maybe make some cocktails and just come back refreshed.
Right. Just have a little break. You know, life can be shitty sometimes. Anyway, what's been going on with you?
My weekend was pretty stressful. I got robbed at the gas station at night, and I know I shouldn't have stopped at night to get gas, but I just had to because it was below the E. I hate stopping to get gas. That's like a woman's worst night. I hate going to the gas station in the daytime, in the nighttime, but I had to go.
Especially at night, though.
Especially at night. And, these guys pulled up on me, jumped out the car. I ran, and they bust my window open. Went through and I just watched them rip through my car. And the whole time, now I was crying and I was screaming because somebody called the police. Meanwhile, people are like, tag ATL Scoop. And I'm like, nigga, call the police.
What we gonna do right now? ATL Scoop gonna have to check their DMs and repost it. And for what?
Absolutely. And my phone was in the car, so I couldn't call nobody. And, but next time they come, I am prepared. I'm prepared. So I want to get a gun. I want to start making gangster rap. And I'm not playing with these niggas no more because it's not fair that you could just bust up in my... Yes, I am thankful that I have my life. I am. That is really all that matters. But you can't help but still be mad that niggas was just in your shit with your little nasty coronavirus fingers. I went and got my car detailed today. They finally came and fixed my window. And then I went and got it detailed because it's just like the thought of you in my shit. You was in it like it was yours. Like you just knew what you was going to find. What you thought, I don't know because I drive a Nissan. Sure, y'all are patrons so we can all watch Kiki be nervous about a man. I've never even seen that.
And I told 2 cocktails about this nigga.
And you
so
told,
then
does he
see
know
who
that?
It is, and you know. All right, so this week we have a guest.
Y'all, this week we have Arazel.
Hey, girl. You've been waiting an hour. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Shit.
We thought it was only right that for Valentine's Day we bring in a sub, and word on the street is she's one of the best subs to ever sub. She is sub to be subbing, and some of y'all need to learn how to submit to your man and cater to that nigga. So we trying to help you. Hey, Arazel.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I don't know.
We're okay. Some of us got
Listen,
robbed.
I feel your
Some of
pain.
us-
There are very specific people who absolutely have that effect on me, where I'm just like, damn, bitch.
Were you nervous?
Get your mind together.
Okay, so what do you do? I know this
Figure
is
it
not
the
on this,
fuck
but
out.
what do you do?
Shit.
Like,
I
do you
don't
just
even
like
know.
suck it up? Because one of my homegirls was like, "Bitch, just suck that shit up." Like, talk to him like anybody else, or because he's not the only one. Let's be clear. This happens often, more often than I would like to admit. I get very nervous, and I'm like, when I don't get nervous like that, that's how I know I don't be liking these niggas. That's why I can stay so calm and cool, and I be like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not sweating because I don't really give a fuck.
Will it make
then
it
when it's
worse if
like
you have a drink?
Okay, so this is the same person where I already fucked him a couple of times, but I don't remember because he made me nervous, so I was drinking, and I don't remember the sex.
Don't drink. Yeah, don't
Ooh.
drink.
I
Don't have a
think,
drink.
but I think now I've grown up a lot, and I've controlled like my intake more. I think if I just have a glass of wine, I might be all right. But we're gonna see.
Smoke some
it's just-
weed.
and I'm just like, it's just a damn episode, bitch. Calm down. Yeah, I had an edible before an episode one time, and I didn't say anything to you or anyone else, and everybody's like, "Oh, Kiki, you're glowing. You look so happy." I was like, "Bitch, I was high as fuck."
That's why.
Y'all ain't even know, but that's what it was. Like, that's not normal at all. But yeah, I don't know. 'Cause there's a
You can
few
do it.
guys that I've been chit chatting with, and I'm like, okay, don't like you, but you might have something because you make me nervous. Okay, so you get nervous too. That makes me feel more comfortable.
Oh yeah, I definitely get nervous. There's definitely very specific people who make me nervous, and I'm like, oh shit, bitch, what is going on? And it's like you
Who
said,
am
like,
I?
right? I mean, but it is like you said though, like sometimes, I mean, that's how you know that you really like them. Like, it's
or
like sometimes they have a
there could
deep
be
effect on you.
something.
Yeah, and like, I mean,
And sometimes
honestly,
it's just your
like,
pussy be wet, so.
okay, there's also that. And then I will also say further, I mean, but it is important to humanize yourself though. Like, don't be hard on yourself about it. Like, one, again, it does let you know, all right, I must really like this person or feel connected to them in some way because they do affect me deeply enough that I'm not acting, I don't even know how to behave around
Right.
them.
Sometimes what helps me is if something uncomfortable happens and then everyone's natural laugh just happens, or something embarrassing happens to one of us in the moment. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, he's a human.
Yeah. I mean, yo, and that's
The
important too
embarrassing
because
shit be happening to me.
yo, because sometimes like the people who make us nervous can also be assholes. So their response to
That
it
is
does
true.
also
That
tell
is
you
true.
a lot. But but like sometimes they're like, okay, you know. But there's other times where they're like a dickhead.
But when
and
they're
it's like,
cool
oh,
and they just smile and their eyes are twinkling, it's just like,
yeah.
what are you giving me to work with to make you feel normal, nigga? Like, calm down, shit. Stop being so damn fine. What the fuck?
Oh, that nigga must
Do you
be
have
fun.
a booger? Do you have gas? Is there pepper in your teeth? Like, what the fuck? Is your credit score low? Do you have bill collectors calling you? What's going on? Give me something to work with, my nigga. Goddamn. We were talking, I was like, so what you do now? Because he's asking me about work. And he told me, like, oh, I don't have to work.
What happened?
So
He's on
he
disability?
No. Okay, so he used to work. He had a career. I don't want to give away too much, but he had a career and he has retired, and he just invested his money wisely, didn't like go crazy when he was making a shit ton of money. So now his investments just be pouring in. So he's just living good and comfortable. It's not like he's like, oh, I can just go buy planes every single day.
Is he
type
single?
thing. I think so, but I'm not sure. I didn't ask because I was acting too weird. And I was like, bitch, calm down. You about to like pee on yourself. Like, calm down. So I'm gonna ask on the episode, but I was like, I also have to do it on this episode because we both can't be flirting with him.
He said, "Look, because the next bonus episode gonna be a boxing match."
Because he was like, because honestly, I was curious. I was like, could we do an episode like a regular episode? I think it would be good. But then I was like, I'm be acting weird. No. It's gonna be bonus because I didn't know if he would be open either. Because I was like, don't be coming on here pussyfooting though, for real. All jokes aside, don't be on here trying to be the model citizen. And all of that. We done had enough of that. We don't need that.
Have a
Tell us
drink,
what you want.
turn up, and let it do what it do. Arazel, men don't have a great track record on our show.
They don't. That's why I love when the ladies come on, when we have guests like you. Because I feel like women are just better at being more just like standing firm in whoever you are. You know, as opposed to trying to give people what they think they want, people want to hear.
Putting on them airs and shit. Like, ooh, I'm on the show with two women. I gotta...
Anybody got time for that?
It's like, chill, motherfucker. We just want you. Just be you. It's all good.
So Arazel, we are going to move on to weird sex. And then you guys, when we come back, we will play a game with King Noir's sub.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, guys, so now it is time for weird sex. So this weird sex submission is from a listener, and thank you so much for sending this. So this story happened in Peru, and it says that a Peruvian lawyer was caught having sex with a client during a Zoom court hearing. I don't know what month this took place, but I know it wasn't in the past 3 months. I'm not understand. I know that some people are not tech savvy. Some people don't understand. Like, for example, on Zoom, you can turn your camera off to where you can't see you, but that don't mean your camera is off. And I think that must be how people keep fucking up.
I didn't know that you could turn it off and you can't see you, but people can still see you.
Yeah. So, for example, in my book club, we'll play games sometimes. So we've played like Heads Up or Blebrity. And so that the person, because I have the phone, if I'm doing it and I can see my video, I can see the thing. I can turn my screen off to where I can't see me, but my video is still going. Everybody else in the Zoom can see me. So I'm thinking that people must be getting confused with turning the camera off versus turning off the view of your own camera, because it's two different things. So if y'all didn't realize that was two different things and you trying to get a little hanky-panky or get fucked up at work or whatever the fuck y'all are trying to do, make sure you're using the right setting, because this person didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So anyway, the lawyer's act shocked the judge and others when he stripped off and had sex during an online trial. How the fuck are you getting fucked and fucking somebody during a trial? The outraged judge immediately called to stop the court proceedings. He sent a cop to intervene while a female aide tried to alert the lawyer, who was getting his balls sucked or whatever he was doing. The judge instructed the state prosecution service to launch an immediate probe into the incident. What probe do we need to do? He was already probing inside some coochie. Anyway, the lawyer was barred from any more involvement in the ongoing case. I hope they did not pay a high retainer. And some local reports says the woman he had sex with was actually his client. However, she is yet to be identified all the way. So they think that's his client, but they're not really sure. I guess she looked like her. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe she was trying to pay for her services in an alternative form of payment. Maybe the first form of payment. You know, when someone declines, like, do you have another form of payment? She's like, yeah. Let me show you what this mouth
She
is.
gave him them eyes and he was like, you trying to do it during the Zoom? I just don't understand why couldn't y'all just wait for the
she had to
weekend?
do it before the case was over, because then he was going to be like, well, bitch, I've already rendered my services. What's up? And she was like, well, hold on. You didn't render them yet. We still in the middle of it. I don't know.
Men just don't, like, sir.
They are horny beasts. I thought I was a horny beast.
beast. I literally recently went out of town to go see a bae, and I had to. I like sex, Arazel. I love sex. I really do. However, I am not a sex addict. I can sometimes just lay in the bed with someone and enjoy your body on mine, and we don't always have to go 10 rounds. If we do 2, that's fine. This nigga, I had to tell him, hey, like, are you okay? What's going on? You done sweat out my hair. I don't know how to maintain these micro links. You have got to calm down. Like, Jesus. Like, just relax for a minute. We're out of breath, no energy. He just laying on me trying to still get calm down. I'm not going nowhere till Tuesday. I can't take these men no more. I'm upset we doing an episode about pleasing and submitting to them, but I guess there is some good men out here.
I don't know how. So
The ones you find, you know what I'm saying?
okay, no, that's a totally different. That's Kiara, bitch. I don't. Who is this Kiki girl? She's got a lot of sass in her. Kiara don't have that, so I don't know.
So, Arazel, here on CockTales Dirty Discussions, we like to play a game called I'm Curious to Know. So we will ask you a list of questions and you will just answer them. They're just random questions that we made up.
Okay.
So, Kiki, do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. What would your ex say about you as a sex partner? Your most recent ex.
I don't think he would have any complaints.
He wouldn't have any complaints.
What accolades would he give you?
What? Oh, please ask that again.
What accolades would he give you?
Oh, well, I'm gonna just say I don't care if it sounds like conceited or full of myself. I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm great at sucking dick. I enjoy it. I think some dicks are a bit easier to suck than others. But overall, I think I do a pretty good job. I also I actually do like to switch shit up. Like, I don't do the same things all the time. So, I give a good variety as well. So I think he'd be able to speak to that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm curious to know. Do you have an OnlyFans?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. I'm making that coin, okay? Absolutely.
I want to start an OnlyFans so bad, but I'm scared.
Why don't you?
Oh, do it. I mean, whatever you want to put on there is what you can put on there. There's no pressure to do anything you don't want to do. And honestly, people will pay, especially if they just want access to you, you could just be at home brushing your teeth. There are people who will pay for that.
You could be getting your pedicures. That little foot nigga gonna be all up in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Money. I feel like
you want to come between your toes, he can't, but
that's for real though. No, but seriously, especially if you're all right, I don't want to do too much, starting with the feet is definitely a good place. If that's the kind of route you're trying to go. I think starting with the feet is a good place. There's a lot of foot fetishes. Actually.
You don't have to say your name, but I feel like your name is going to help you get more money.
That's what I feel like. If I do it, I have to be one of them girls that I put it on Instagram and let people know I have it.
And then when people see what it is,
they're going to be like, oh, but
sitting in the bed eating ice cream.
I need to see this. Yes. Oh,
this is just in here eating. She cleaning up her house.
There are people who like that shit
you used to do on Instagram, but people do like that. It's honestly, OnlyFans gets a bad rap because there is so much sex work on there, but it's okay, but y'all be liking it. So, what's the problem?
Just because sex work is stigmatized. That's it. And people, obviously, it wouldn't be such a big market for it if people didn't like that shit. So,
right.
I don't even, I think it's weird. Porn, is multi-billion-dollar industry, has been around forever. actually,
And
cities,
it can't be there without customers.
No, seriously,
Right.
absolutely. Like, if people weren't investing in it, it wouldn't be as big as it is, and it wouldn't have lasted as long as it has. Even a lot of the cities in America that exist today, they centered around brothels. They centered around sex work. So, like...
Is Philly one of those cities?
Oh, maybe.
I'm going to do some research.
Shit.
Next week on CockTales, we have an exclusive about the history of sex work and brothels. I've always found brothels to be interesting because people try to... It seems like the people who are the most, like, anti-sex work are the biggest customers. Would
Be
you
the
agree?
main ones in there. The politicians, the preachers.
Yes.
Be like,
absolutely. The people who
Just
need it
my
the
thing
most
is
be
just
the ones
don't
who
say
shouldn't it the
nothing.
most half the time.
Mind your business.
Mind your
Just be quiet.
business.
Just be quiet. That's it. Just be quiet.
Hey, it costs nothing. It's free. It's cheaper than that nut you about to pay for later. Okay.
I remember one time I was out to eat with some friends, and it was an ex of mine, and his best friend came, and he had brought a girl that wasn't really his girlfriend, but it was just a double date. And we were in New Orleans. She got down on her knees in one of these bars and started sucking his dick. And you know what I did? I just minded my business. This what y'all do? I'm not doing. I looked at my man like, no, you know I'm not doing it, but I'm gonna mind my business. This was still cool. I was like, hey girl, do your thing. Mind your business. Anyways,
It does nothing. Okay. I'm curious to know, what is one of your flaws?
Oh shit. I would definitely say I would say for the past few years it's been lack of presence. I
What
think
do you
there's
mean?
there's times when I'm zoned out. There's times I don't even realize that I'm not, like, there's times I'll swear I'm paying attention and think that I'm like present with folks, and then I'll be somewhere else. And then so sometimes, people might come back and be like, try to talk to me about the conversation that we had or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, I don't really remember that. Or like, I'll only remember certain things, and there's a lot of other shit that completely gone. And I'd be like, fuck, where was I?
and trying to
that entire
fake your
time?
way through a conversation that you really weren't paying attention to is the worst. Because then you just come off rude. Because you
I've
don't
had
have
to
any energy
learn.
behind it because you don't remember. You're like,
Seriously. Yeah. Like, I've had to learn to just be like, ooh, I'm sorry. I didn't really receive any of that. Can you please repeat
yeah,
that?
and you're like,
Like,
I'm sorry, I know it was the 10th time, but I wasn't listening.
And I really only
boring.
just recently, like, learned how to feel comfortable enough to be like, I actually didn't hear anything you just said. Like, because, people get offended or, like, they get mad or some shit, and it's like, a lot of times, like, oh, I don't want to offend anybody. But fuck all that. Like, you're going to be even more upset if, like, I missed important details or some shit like that, or you come back and
Yeah,
you're like,
it's the same thing. Because
Yeah.
it really is. Like, the person on the receiving end is going to know you weren't really listening.
Right.
You weren't paying attention. So it's
Especially
like, okay,
if
you're
your
gonna say it or
response is
not.
off or some shit, like, and you're just like, oh, okay. And they're like, bitch, I just said a whole shit. The fuck you mean, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like,
Or, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
so I've definitely had to
That's
learn
crazy.
how to be, like,
Yeah.
more
Oh my God,
present
that's so
and how to
crazy.
just
Oh my
be,
God.
or, like, if I'm realizing that I haven't been present, to be able to say, hey, I didn't receive that. I missed that. I apologize. Can you please repeat yourself? So I would
It
say
feels
that's definitely
good to
been
feel
something.
comfortable enough to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stopped a dude in his tracks the other day, and I said, you know what, sir? I'm not giving you my number because I
Sir.
know I'm not going to call you. I don't like you.
Once you call somebody sir,
Wow.
they
See,
should
and
know.
there it is. There it is. And that's
Yeah,
so
so let's-
important.
Sir
And
or
it's so
ma'am.
empowering too, though. Like, it's so
It
empowering
is.
to be that
And you walk
honest and
away
be like,
like-
listen, I'm not gonna waste your or my time and make you believe some shit that ain't true. So
I don't want
I'm
to ever
sorry.
get to know you how you want to get to know me. Gone are the days when I feel like I have to give you my number and then avoid you. Nigga, I said no.
Yo,
Okay, next one.
Young bullshit.
Okay, Arazel, I'm curious to know, what is the most submissive thing you've ever done for a man?
Ooh, shit. I'm gonna have to think about that. I have a couple instances. The most. Public apology. public apology, holding myself accountable publicly for fucking up, I would say is the most submissive thing I have done.
So how did that go? Like, what exactly happened?
Oh shit. So like, so this was with my dom and one of my doms, and I don't know, I just fucked up. Sometimes I just be fucking up. Like, there's be some shit and I'm just like, oh my god, like, how did this fucking happen? And like, yeah, so like, just coming out and saying like, you know, I haven't been helpful. And, you know, especially as a submissive, like, that's my fucking job, is to be helpful. So if I'm not being helpful, what am I doing? You know, so like, it's like, okay, like, oh, I wasn't helpful, or like, I didn't really listen and missed out on like some shit I was supposed to be doing, or like, you know, you specifically told me to do something and I did not do it. You know, like, to be able to come out and say that and be honest about the fact, like, we're gonna fail, we're gonna make mistakes, it's gonna happen, so just own it and then move on and, like, you know, try to do better next time. But to like have it not just be a private thing, like, oh, okay, I fucked up and he knows and like we're gonna work through it together, is like to do a whole post like publicly on Instagram or some shit.
I read that
like,
post. I sure did read that post. And I was like, oh. I said, oh, hell no. I'm cringing just listening to you talk about this, because I'm like, it takes a lot out of me to be really telling niggas like, dang, I'm sorry. Or you know how sometimes you forget to say thank you for something because you feel like you deserved it. And you'd be like, well, nigga, you the one. Thank you.
Thanks.
Like, just
So,
I deserved this
so
with
I
all
was
the
just like,
turmoil and
okay.
heartache. That's submissive. That is submissive.
Yeah. So it is one thing. Like, for me, like, all my life I have been a very private person. So like, everything is always between me and that individual. It's all business. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So like, even if I have a problem with somebody, a lot of the time people wouldn't really know the details, or like, I wouldn't talk about it. I just would disappear on that motherfucker and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But it has been like a whole new shit to like take public accountability, you know, or to be like, yeah, I mean, but I think like the upside to it is that it actually is empowering in a very interesting way, because of the fact that it does allow me to humanize myself. It's a reminder, like, bitch, I'm not the fuck perfect. I'm gonna do shit that's not right, you know? Like, that's actually one of the things that I appreciate about y'all, and from watching your show, like, you humanize yourselves all the time, and I love that. Like, I think it's so important for us to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, even earlier, when you was talking about, like, getting robbed and shit, you're like, listen, I wanted my mom. I was gonna cry. Like, yes, like, that's real shit. And like, it's important for people to realize, like, that's real. Sometimes I'm gonna fuck up. Sometimes I'm gonna do some shit where I'm even surprised, like, damn, why the fuck did I do that? Or like, how? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit. And be embarrassed as fuck for my own self. But it's like, you know, it is good and it is empowering and it is like freeing to be like, yeah, I fucked up. That's part of the process.
Public apology, that's a whole nother level. Kiki, you think you could do that if your man was like, get on Instagram right now and let the world know what the fuck you did?
Hell no. Because our relationship ain't for Instagram. First of all, don't nobody even know we go together. You know, my nigga, you need to chill. Okay? You need to chill all the way the fuck down, out, whatever the fuck. You want me to get on Instagram and do what now? You know what I want you to do? I want you to go to the bank and wire some money. So we're both at a crossroads here, because we both want something we're not about to have. Or even if you did that shit, sir, I'm not apologizing to Instagram for something that I did that hurt your pussy ass feelings. No. So this whole let's be a submissive bitch thing, this is going to be a really interesting conversation going forward, because that's not me. Like, in certain aspects, when it comes to sex specifically, I can do it. When it gets outside of like literal sexual acts, if it ain't no penises, pussies, nipples, booty cheeks, mouths, ears, none of that going on. It's just like feelings. Boy, fuck you.
I go back and forth with it. I go back and
That's how I'm feeling today.
I go back and forth. I'm submissive during sex.
On the internet? Medina, would you do it? You about to apologize?
See, I don't. It depends. It depends because I go back and forth with
On
it.
what?
I'm submissive in the bedroom. I am. It's hard for me to take control. I have to be really comfortable, but I'm submissive in the bedroom. I can be submissive with like you picking things for me, even to to picking like what you want me to wear in real life, not just in the bedroom. Or you order my food for me, and I don't know what you're ordering, but if I hear it, then I'll just say, hey, make sure there's no grains on that. Thank you. Like that makes my pussy wet. Now, if depending on what the situation is for the public apology, I would let him write the apology, and then I can, if I can tweak it, then okay, maybe we can work with something. But I don't know that I could do it publicly. I don't. I do have a slight attitude, and I think it would take, if I was an actual sub, I feel like he would have to like ignore me and treat me a little bit bad to get me to act right. Like he would have to tighten these reins up, because there would be some moments where I'd be like, can we tweak this? I'm not going to do it, but can we change it a little bit? I would get fired. He would fire me.
You would. You would get a whooping. For real.
I would get a whooping.
I mean, especially with like, you know, an actual dom, like somebody like it's different.
One, not a nigga that's just saying, "Oh, I like to be dominant in the bedroom." Oh, yeah, that's different.
Boy, fuck you. But like, actual doms, like especially like, you know, somebody that like you've actually decided to establish that dynamic with, then that would still be part of the boundaries that you set beforehand. So like, you know, even then, it's not even like just because he's your dominant, you have to do whatever the fuck he say, like you his slave or something. Mm-hmm. Our ancestors already did that.
Slavery is over.
We ain't fucking doing that.
So to be clear, being a sub is not being a slave.
Exactly. Unless if you're into that kind of shit. There's some people...
If you choose to be a slave.
Yeah, there are some people who are like, oh yeah, you know, and even then it's like, it's still like, okay, you can still set up the context. You can still set up for how long, you know, it's like, is it just for this 2-hour session? Is it 24 hours? Is it for a week? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still entirely up to you.
Is it just for Valentine's Day?
Go about it and set it up. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's still up to you. Like, you know, the boundaries still always yours. And like, if you have somebody who calls themselves your dominant and they push your boundaries, that's not it. Leave immediately. Like, they need to respect your boundaries at all times. Everybody should. Like, any relationship you have, your boundaries need to be respected. So I think that's a big misconception when it comes to having a dominant, is that like, whatever they tell you, you just have to do. No, absolutely not.
Something we done transition from the game. Something that stood out to me when we spoke on the phone a couple weeks ago was you mentioning that, you know, when you become a sub, one of the things you have to do is talk about what you fucked up on. Like, I fucked up on this. Like, what did I mess up? And so before we dive into this conversation about how you got into being a sub, I wanted us all three to go through and today say, look at Kiki, say, how did you fuck up today? Now, you can relate it to if you're dealing with a dude, it could be sex, it could be something that you did with work, but how did you fuck up today, Kiki? We not no subs.
First because of all, girl, why? I ain't never claimed to be a sub. We all know that ain't my ministry. Okay. But all right, we'll play the game for the sake of the episode. I didn't know this was coming. All right, I fucked up today because once again I'm still struggling with my time management. Then I also knew that I need to get my eyelashes done right. And I did not book my appointment. So I had to book my appointment for next week with a new girl. And so today I had to go buy some emergency lashes. That took a lot more time. Then I went to get coffee, but I didn't pre-order my coffee. So everything I did today went late. And then I thought I caught up. So I went to have a late lunch with a friend who was going through some things. We're chit-chatting. Then I get an emergency phone call. And so then I went and got my little baby. that ain't my baby. And then his badass dog is jumping on me. So I had to get him together. Baby, this might be Fashion Nova, but I paid for it. I need you to stop jumping on my shit. So I'm trying to get him to calm down and stuff. And it's just, everything is delaying me. And then I don't know what the fuck was going on with the computer, but I guess I should have double checked everything beforehand like I usually do. I skipped that step. So all day, I say all that to say all day, I skipped the extra steps that I typically do because I was running low on time. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to skip the extra step and just do what I do. It didn't work out. I need them extra steps. So today was fucked up, but I did wrap my hair last night like a good black girl, and I'm very proud about that. And I'm because I be going to sleep like I'm white. I be going to sleep like I'm white sometimes, and that never ends well for the next day because when I wake up, it's like your heritage is showing. So it's like, girl, put them damn flexi rods in your bonnet on. What the fuck you think is going on?
It sucks that we can't just go to sleep like that. That'd be making me mad.
I mean, we can. But it's gonna be mad.
Them edges gonna be curled up. Look, I think I went to sleep like I was white last night too.
What you do, Medina?
I fucked up today by waking up late. I had set my alarm for 7 a.m. and I set 2 alarms, Alexa and my phone. And when they both went off, I fucked up by saying I deserved to sleep a little later today when I really didn't deserve it. I needed to get up. I had a lot of shit I had to do. And that was the first fuck up. The second fuck up was not knowing that I needed to get a tinted window to get put into my car. And then the third fuck up was I didn't wake up early enough. And so I didn't get a shower and everything was just basically thrown. Okay. I didn't get a shower today, but I ended up showering before we recorded, just so everybody knows I didn't put makeup on my dirty face. I also...
You just ran errands dirty.
I ran errands dirty. Like I needed to go to the grocery store. I fucked up. Today felt like a Monday. I went out last night. That's where I started the fuck up. And I really ain't been going out like that. I went out with a friend. I didn't need to go out. I went out and it threw my whole day off. People would try to make you drink. I said I'm not drinking. I had a drink. And now look at me. Woke up late, smoking hookah. Got voiceovers to record tomorrow. My voice is scratchy.
You was smoking hookah, bitch? I thought you was done with the hooks.
I was smoking the hooks. So I fucked up by being a follower.
Because I was so going to invite you the other day, but I said, you know what? I don't want to be a bad influence. She said she's not doing this stuff anymore.
I'm back on the hoops.
I'll go by myself.
Because I had such a bad weekend that I was like, I want alcohol. Y'all got any drugs? Give me a hookah.
You know, sometimes you just need something to numb that pain. I get it.
You do.
Because I have cut back a lot. Maybe we can go another day this weekend or something. I'll invite you next time, and then you can just decline if you be a good girl.
Okay, one last fuck up. I feel like this was also a fuck up pertaining to the man in my life. He got the coronavirus vaccination, and he didn't feel good. And I feel like I should have sent him something to uplift his spirits because he would have did it to me, and I didn't. But I feel like he deserves it.
It was the first one or the second one?
The first one. And he was a little sick. He had to take the rest of the day off of work.
That happened. So he probably had it before. That's what I heard. If you get a little sick, you had corona at some point before. People who've never had it, they feel fine. Some people have been getting migraines or feeling sick. But a lot of people don't know if they've had it because it's like, if you're not getting tested all the time, how would you know?
Right. So those were my fuck ups. Arazel, how did you fuck up today?
Shit. First of all, I did not go to sleep early last night. I went to sleep mad late. So I fucked up by going to sleep today instead of yesterday. That's the first order of business. Knowing my ass had to be up early because, I have my niece and nephew, and my niece is still in school, so she got the virtual school and shit. Oh, my nephew woke up 7 o'clock this morning. And I could barely wake up.
And what time did you go to sleep?
Oh, I didn't go to sleep. Yeah, it was around 3.
You had a nap.
Doing the most. Yeah.
When my nephew does stuff like that, I'd be having to bribe him. Like, please lay down. Please.
Got melatonin gummies.
He's just, I know, right? He's just a little over a year old. So it's hard to bribe him to go to sleep.
Because he's just like, I don't know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Or if I do, I'm going to pretend I don't know. Because I'm a baby. So So that was the first order of business. I already started off like tired as fuck. I'm just like, I'm like falling asleep low key, and I'm like, wait, I gotta make sure my niece gets ready for school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually proud of myself today. Honestly, I think I actually fuck up more often, but today I didn't fuck up as much. So I'm like, yes, actually I was pretty responsible. I went and got that Amazon food after it was dropped off 7 o'clock this morning. I went downstairs, put that shit away. Like, I washed some dishes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm actually a little proud of myself. But I definitely need to make sure I get more sleep.
You know, but here's the thing. I like this whole starting off a conversation with someone and letting them know how you fucked up today. Now, normally I'm assuming you would pertain it to that relationship. You would say, I forgot to bring the condoms and that's how I fucked up, if that was like your task. Would that be how you talk to your dom? Like, I fucked up today by forgetting the condoms.
Or like, especially if I, you know, got in trouble with some shit, or like got sent out the room, and then like, you know, whatever. It's like, that actually happened before, where we did an interview. Oh my God.
And you got sent out the room? They were like, you have to get out of the room.
How did they send you out?
Not during the interview, fortunately. Ooh, that would have been worse. No, it was beforehand, but I had to talk about it. And this was like the first time, like, you know, this is the first time I had ever actually been like a legitimate submissive. Like, there's times where it's like, okay, I'll be submissive in this moment, contextual. This is like the first like actual like certified doms that I've ever had. So like, yeah, I was not fucking ready. So we did like a little cute little interview, and it was like, so how did you mess up today? And I was like, like, I was so uncomfortable. Like, I was fucking, like, palpably uncomfortable. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. Like, you can see that they're pissed off. You can see that I'm fucking uncomfortable. Like, you can see it all, like, in this fucking interview. And it was, like, the first time
but
that
now
I had
that
to
you're
do that.
Would you call yourself a seasoned sub now? Now those types of things you can kind of work through it. Does it turn you on now?
Yeah,
like if
I
they're
would
like,
say,
tell me how you fucked up today.
There's some sprinkles of seasoning going on, you know what I'm saying? A little, you know, like I would definitely say there's I have adjusted quite a bit. I think I always have more to learn. There's always more space to improve, absolutely. But I definitely feel like at this point, there's a lot of things that come a lot more naturally and more easily. Like, I've definitely grown since earlier on. And I'm actually very grateful for it. It's been really empowering, honestly. Like, there's a lot of stuff where before I probably would have never imagined.
Like what?
Bitch, like, shit, them public apologies.
Oh,
Taking accountability.
yeah, that is something.
Oh my
really
God. How did you mess up today? It's really like, it's like, oh, you gonna put.
What if you laugh while you're explaining
let
how
people
you
know
messed
that
up
you-
today? Like, what if you're giggling? Are they like, you better? Is it like your parents are like, you better sit down? Like,
Sometimes it feels that way. Because I feel like our parents are also like, you know, they're our first authority figures. So the men are speaking like they're like our first doms and shit. But like, yeah, I think sometimes like laughing, it really depends on the context. So especially if I'm talking about how I fucked up, it's like, okay, bitch, are you taking this seriously? Like, are you taking this seriously? You're just gonna sit here and crack up at the fact that you fucked up today? Like, how's that, you know? Fortunately, that hasn't happened. I was extremely embarrassed, so I was not in a laughing mood. But
so talking about adjusting to being a sub, what were some of the hardest adjustments you had to make?
Yeah, definitely outside of public accountability, I think just being more disciplined overall. I mean, that's why one of the reasons why I wanted DOMs in the first place was that I was like, damn, bitch, we need more structure and we need more discipline. Like, it's wild to say that I was more disciplined as a child than I am as an adult. So like just even saying that, I'm like, oh fuck. So I was like, damn, I need more discipline.
Well, makes sense, because when you're a child, you're being told what you're going to eat, what to do when you're going to school. And then, you know, when you become an adult, you have the choice. Absolutely. So I can kind of see where that could be difficult for some people.
And that's exactly what happened. It kind of got to the point where it's like, damn, bitch, can't nobody really tell me what to do. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I was like, actually, it was kind of helpful to have that structure, you know, and to kind of have things kind of set up for me sometimes, you know, and to be like, and have people checking in with me too. Like, did you get this done? Oh, shit, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And be like, let me get this shit done, like, right the fuck now. You know, so it was definitely like regaining that structure and discipline, I think has definitely been, that was pretty difficult. Like there was a lot of stuff where I was like, damn, like, especially I think the hardest thing is being disappointing or disappointing them in any way. Like I think bothered me the most out of anything. Like all of the other stuff, it's like, I wanted this because I wanted to be better for my own self-development. You know, I want to be better, and this is helping me to be better, and it's helping me grow. But to be in any situation where I fuck up and I'm disappointing in any way, it's like, ooh, that I think is really difficult for me. Like, and I'm a sensitive ass bitch. People don't really know. I only just recently started getting a real personality online in the first place. So
that can be
it's like, so like people don't know that like I'm really I refer to myself as a sensitive noodle. So like I be out here like I be crying, like I get teary eyed and shit. So like I would be crying a lot and just be like, oh my God, I'm such a fuck up. I'm supposed to be an adult and look at me, you know.
But for the most part, you enjoy being a sub.
Oh, absolutely. I like being helpful. I like being of service, especially to people that I actually like and respect and care for. So yeah, absolutely.
A lot of times when we have DOMs on the show, they're constantly talking about like teaching others. Do you teach other women or men how to be more submissive on a regular basis?
Yeah, I think that I help to normalize it. And I think I help to, because there's a lot of stigmas around all of these ways of being, either around being dominant, around being submissive, especially as a woman. It's hard, especially nowadays, because I mean, socially we're expected to be submissive. So sometimes there can even be shame that comes with wanting to be submissive as a woman. You know, because then it's like, oh, then you're just falling into the stereotype. It's like, well, honestly, like, there are submissive women, there's submissive men. Like, submission is a fucking thing. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, if that's just who you are and how you operate or how someone inspires you to be, yeah, then I'm empowered because I'm doing what the fuck I want. I'm not doing it just because it's some, like, social expectation. I'm doing it for very specific people that I respect and that I trust to also like honor my submission and to not like misuse that trust and vulnerability, you know. So honestly, submission is great when you're doing it with people who can actually hold you in respectful and like safe ways, like when you're actually doing it with people that you can trust and know won't misuse that, you know. So I really enjoy it.
When you have a dom, how does that session start? I say session, not like it, like when you meet up with them, you know, you're going to see them today. And how does that go? You get there and do you change? Are we like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am?
Oh, what do you mean by change?
Do you change like who you are as a real person in your everyday life?
Oh, no. So that's the other thing that I think is very important. I feel like you should always be yourself. If you don't really feel inclined to be submissive to that person, you're probably not going to be a good submissive for them. Like, the reason why I chose the doms that, that I have had in life or, at any point is because I naturally felt inclined to be that way with them. It was something they inspired in me. It wasn't something that I felt forced to do or anything, or like, one of my partners being like, hey, can we try? You know what I mean? Like, I felt like naturally inclined to do that. And I think it's important to always, first and foremost, honor yourself as an individual. Like, if it's not something you're comfortable with, it's probably not something you're going to do well. It's probably not something you're going to enjoy, and probably not something you should put yourself through. I do think it's good if you want to explore and are open to exploration to do that. But, so like, as you were saying, like, how would it go? From the jump at the beginning, it is setting up the boundaries. It is kind of going over, like, what are your limits today? Like, how are you feeling? What are you up for? What are you not up for? And I think it's important to check in each and every time, because those limitations can change. So, like, sometimes, like, even for our experiences in our everyday life, I could have just gone through some traumatic ass shit. So, like, there could be certain things where it's like, today I'm like, oh, I just can't do that today. Like,
so they might be like, and get in there and we want you to make us dinner. And you could be like, today, that's not what's happening. Y'all gonna make me some dinner.
Shit, I wouldn't say it like that. But I could definitely speak to my capacity and be like, honestly, like, today, like, I really don't have, like, I'm not present physically. I don't have the energy, like, just speaking to.
So if that happens, are they like, okay, well, you need to go home then, because that's not what we had you over here for. Sorry you had a bad day, but here's the lunchbox, and go ahead and.
And that would be completely okay. And sometimes that's the best thing too. Like, if I can't really be helpful, then yeah, why would I be there? Like, yeah, just send my ass to fuck home, because I'm not actually. And if you're not going to be helpful, like, it is important to be able to say that. Like, honestly, I can't be helpful today. I'm just really not in the proper space for this. And I feel like good doms will actually be grateful that you fucking said that, so that you're not in there not being helpful and, like, fucking up and, like, making. Yeah, it's like, no, like, if I'm here to serve, I'm here to be helpful, and I don't feel like I can do that, it's important to be able to say that.
Is there a financial gain from being a sub? Because with a lot of women who are doms, it seems like a lot, people pay them for their sessions. Is there a financial gain with being a sub, or is it just like, they're like, well, I mean, we'll send you some gas money, but that's about it?
Well, I guess it depends. It really depends on the dynamic that you set up with your doms. There are some people who are professional submissives, where, like, they do get paid to do that, where it's like, okay, we are doing a specific session where I'm going to submit to you, or whatever. There's also, in other cases where, like, their doms just look out for them, where it's like, especially, like, integrating them into their businesses
first of the
and
month,
stuff like that, So, like, it really does depend on the dynamic that you have with your dominance. So there are people who do submit professionally, and there are other people who just do it for the joy of it, So there absolutely can be.
Kiki,
but that's completely
you gonna do it for the
you.
joy or for the financial gain?
Girl, what you think?
Your dom sending you home. The dom don't be
We're
like,
not gonna have a dom.
Y'all sound like some brats, but that's good, because there's doms
That's
out here
exactly
that
what I
like
would
that
be.
shit
We had
too.
some guests on that were talking about brats. I'm gonna be a brat in a situation like that. My everyday life, no. But this, all this shit, because they're gonna be wanting too much.
so what advice would you give women who, for Valentine's Day, they really do want to try to submit to their man and not be so, this is what I'm not going to do? And let's say in the bedroom, maybe normally you're like, and I'm not choking on your dick, and don't come in my mouth, and don't touch my hair. I just, like, what are some ways that women can, Kiki, you look like you already ready.
No, because this is the
that
thing.
women can do
and I was
Valentine's
talking to,
Day
my
submissions?
homegirl earlier. sometimes I think people get confused about being a submissive in like a BDSM type of way and then just being submissive every day in a regular relationship. And it's different. It's like you can be sexually submissive in like a kinky type of way, or you could just be a submissive woman. And it's different. I don't fit in those boxes, but true. I mean, either one of them. But, you know, there are some people who would go in one or the other because it's just like the dominant people, whether they're men or women. Like, we've had guests on the show and they'll say like, oh, in my everyday life, I'm this way. But when it comes to sex and when I'm getting into these things, I want the opposite. Or I want to turn this up a bit more. It's not the same. So that's why I was looking like, where are you going with this? Because it could just be so different when it comes to being submissive, you know?
And that's very true. And what makes it different is just the people involved. So, like, just consider yourself. What do you feel comfortable with doing? You know? And, like, even if it's, like, outside of, like, your norm, it's like, okay, even if I don't normally do this shit, what do I still feel comfortable with? Like, am I going to decide, like, I'm a cook today? Or even if I'm like, damn, bitch, I don't really cook like that. Let me order out. Let me think of the kind of food he actually fucking likes. And then, like, or, you know, what's his favorite place? Let me order from that. Sometimes being submissive, like, or being of service, really is just being considerate and anticipating a person's needs. So, like, just think about, like, the kind of shit he likes, what his needs may be. Like, if he had a long-ass fucking day, and, like, usually I ain't gonna touch a motherfucker's feet type John, but maybe today I might. Maybe today I'm gonna give you, like, a whole little spa treatment. Get the hot water and the bowl and be like, baby, just sit down. Relax, you know what I'm saying? Put your feet in this hot ass water and let me rub your shoulders.
Gentlemen, if you are having a hard time getting your woman to submit in any type of way, I mean, I think this is a great time for you to think to yourself, if you're listening to this, how did I fuck up in this whole relationship? Because I will say, I have never given a man a full body massage and I'm really putting my all into it until recently. There's somebody that I appreciate very much in my life, and I literally set up the whole hotel room like it was a spa. And you know how, if you're not a masseuse, your fingers get tired, your arms get tired. If I agree to scratching your head, scratching your back, or giving you a massage, it's going to be like 4 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, it's my turn, so get up.
And that's really a long time when you think about it.
Yeah, your fingers be hurting. I gave this man a full body massage, and I was tired, but I felt he deserved it. And I wanted, if he would have been like, now get on your knees and tell me how you fucked up today, I would have gladly did it.
Yes. And again, that's the thing. Like, that's what it really comes down to. That's what it really comes down to is like, does this man that you are deciding to submit to, does he actually inspire that in you? If not, then why the fuck are you doing it? Like, are you just doing it to try just because it's like, well, I guess today it says it's a special day to do this kind of shit. So, like, nah, don't even fucking pressure yourself, bitch. Just do what you feel inspired to do. Does this make, do you really feel like he deserves that shit from you? And also, like, that happens too. Because, like, especially nowadays, like, there's so many dominant women. There's so many women that, especially in the past, were dominant and weren't even allowed to express those things. And so nowadays, we living out the dominance for our ancestors who didn't get to, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I think that there are some times where it's like, because even myself, I'm a switch, you know, so, like, I am dominant as well as submissive. So it just depends on the person and the context and what brings those things out of me. So there are some folks where there's times where it's like, primarily, I'm dominant. And then there could be times where I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do a little something. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling a little inspired to do something different today. You know what I'm saying? And then I might, like, switch it up. But it's important to actually want to do those things. Because if you don't really want to do it,
just like when you sucking somebody's dick. Like, we all know the difference between when you're sucking someone's dick and you really enjoy it, and when you're sucking someone's dick and you're just like rolling your eyes the whole time. It's a chore.
Like, exactly. So don't do it if it's going to be a chore. Do the things that come naturally and that feel good to you as well.
Arazel, what are the different types of subs? Are there different types of subs?
There definitely are different types of subs. So brats are a type of sub. Those are the ones that, actually, it's funny because I think that there's a lot of people who are low-key doms that actually, as a submissive, would be a brat because they're actually dominant. So it's like, nah,
Some
make me do
reverse
it.
psychology going on.
Yeah, it's like, no. I want you to really make me. Like, really inspire me in this moment to do what
Challenge
you say.
me, bitch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So there's brats, there's service submissives. So that's primarily the kind of submissive I've been. There's sexual submissives. So there are folks who are only submissive sexually, and outside of that, don't know what to tell you, sir. There are littles. I'm also a little. So like with littles, yeah. So with littles, there's folks who may not always necessarily feel sexual, or sometimes simple things are mad sexual to them. So littles are people who tend to might want to be cuddled, or like do things that people consider to be more childlike. Like, I want to fucking color in some coloring books today. Did you get me some coloring books, Daddy? You know, like, I want to color. You know, there's some folks who, like, want to dress up, or, like, who just feel good being held, and even holding a fucking teddy bear, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, being spoken to a certain way, like how you would a child. Because, like, oftentimes people are, like, really nice and really loving to children in ways that they would never be to an adult in the same situation. So sometimes there are people who are like, I just need to be held, not even just.
So you would be the
physically, but
person
emotionally.
needing to be held or talked to like a baby, or you do the talking to like a baby?
So as a little, I would be the person that would need to be held or spoken to in such a way.
Okay.
And for me, like, I don't want to be spoken to like a kid so much, but I do, like, for me, it's like, I just want, like, patient, gentle guidance. Like, there's some people who want their doms to be, like, stern and be like, so you're fucking up. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? Or, like, but for me, it's like, damn, I need you to be nice. Like, please don't be mean to me, because I'm a cry. Like, I said, I'm a sensitive noodle, so, like, I might just sit there and cry and be triggered. Like,
Are you
You're
ever
mad at
allowed
me.
to have, what if you start to develop real feelings for your dom
oh,
and
shit.
he is in a relationship? Does that happen? Or do they cut that off, like, from the beginning? Like, hey, listen, this is still my nigga.
Well, I think, so, like, romantic feelings?
Yeah.
Well, I think that, in the kind of dynamics that I have, especially for myself, seeked out, like, I always seek dynamics that leave space for that. Again, it depends on, like, the kind of dynamic that you set up. Like, there are people who are like, I'm just your dom in this moment for, like, this 2 fucking hours, bitch, and that's it. And then there's other, like, folks where, like, they do develop whole relationships. For me, I prefer to actually have an intimate relationship with the people that I'm interacting with. That's ideal for me. Especially, like, the kind of person that I am, like, it is hard for me to open up. Like, I've had to learn, in the past few years, I've actually learned to be more vulnerable, but I'm not a very vulnerable person. I'm a sensitive ass bitch, but that's in my own time, usually. So, like, you know.
It can be difficult.
Oh, absolutely. So, like, if I'm really going to be submitting to somebody and being vulnerable in certain ways, like, it's very important to me that we do establish, like, some depth of connection, and we do have, like, you know, real intimacy. Otherwise, it's really hard for me to open up like that, and I'm not going to be able to do it. So for myself, absolutely, I think it's important to be able to have space for that, and I definitely have developed romantic feelings for my doms. It's not, like, the only feelings that I have, or it's not, like, I wouldn't define my feelings as only romantic, but I definitely have developed romantic
Have you
feelings,
noticed
for
a
sure.
difference when your dom is a woman and when your dom is a man? Like, do you ever be like, is there ever a sense of, like, jealousy almost? Like, why am I even letting her tell me what to do?
Oh, shit. Well,
'Cause
for
sometimes it could be
myself,
different.
no. I think that definitely is a thing that comes up. But even then, like, your feelings tell you a lot about, like, what your needs are, or even what your desires are in a particular moment. So it doesn't have to just stop at the jealousy. It's like, well, what does this jealousy mean? Why do I feel jealous? You know? So, like, for myself, I haven't, honestly, like, I've been biased a lot in my life, which is why I only just recently have submitted in the way that I have. Because, like, honestly, I have felt more comfortable with women, especially telling me what to do, than men anyway in my life, you know? So, like, in a lot of ways, I feel like by default, I would actually feel more comfortable with a femdom than I would with a male dom. That was actually one of the things that was interesting to me when I came across King Noir, was that, like, he is cis, he is heterosexual, and, like, the comfort that I felt around him really meant a lot to me. The fact that I naturally felt safe and, like, comfortable, you know, really meant something. Where, like, generally speaking, like, that's not generally how I feel. And, like, even with certain dudes that I might be around and generally feel safe with, would I still want them telling me what the fuck to do? I don't think so.
Right.
But again, that's why choosing your doms and choosing people, like, that you really trust and feel safe with is extremely
Choose
important.
wisely.
Now, this is just me being nosy. When it comes to actual sex, whatever that is for you, do you have a preference with men versus women?
Oh, no.
Who do you think eats pussy better?
I done
I like
burnt
to
my
have this
candle on
conversation
both
with my
ends.
Bitches
friend.
all day.
I already know how you feel.
It does vary. It does vary. Like, it's funny
I think
because,
bitches too.
you know, sometimes they
Women
be
have
doing
been
some
better
shit.
at it.
Because they do have vaginas themselves. But even then, it's like, that's still not always a rule, because, like, a lot of the
It's
time,
definitely
what
not a
works
rule,
for
no.
them. Nah, because, like, they might do the shit that feels good to them, but it's like, but I'm not you. So, like...
Exactly.
But so I feel like even with that, it's like, it still really depends on the partner, because there's a lot of folks who, like, don't really know how to adjust to a new partner. Like, there's a lot of dudes that treat women like they're all the same, but there's a lot of lesbians who act the same way too, where they, like, you know...
And there are some men that eat very great pussy. I will say my sex partner right now is very grand at eating pussy. Like, he does this thing. It's almost like he's a puppet master, and he can move my legs with his tongue. Like, he clicks something in my vagina and my legs move on his demand. It's really insane. And I'm like, well, dang, he ain't a bitch. He an old grown ass man over here moving my legs like I'm Pinocchio. I'm a whole Pinocchio. I'm over here whopping.
Okay.
It's really, it's a great.
So yeah, I don't know. I would say I've had some pretty good partners, but I've had some really shitty partners on both ends too. So it's kind of been like, you know, half and half
50,
for me.
50.
Yeah, it's been 50-50. It really helps when I have a partner who understands that I'm, like, not every bitch is the same. And so, like, they try to find what works for me, who can, like, really be present and be like, how is she responding to this? Oh, how she ain't like that too much. Let me switch it up a little bit. You know, like, that's important. So, like, yeah, I think it's been a bit 50-50. I've definitely had, there's been some lovers where I was like, all right, this is the first and the last time.
The first and the last.
First and the last. And then there's been other times where it's like, that wasn't so great, but I like you a lot. And I think maybe it's just because you don't know me well enough yet. So let's try this again. You know?
See, I do that sometimes too. I'm like, okay, you get 3 turns if I see some potential. After 3 turns, if you haven't learned anything, if you haven't even tried,
I think that's a good
you're
rule.
getting expelled from my pussy.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule. I like that. I like
Yeah,
trying,
because, you
like,
know, we all have our
stretch it
awkward
out.
moments sometimes, no matter what the reason may be. You might have an awkward moment. It doesn't mean that the sex will always be awkward or bad, but, you know.
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
also not
off.
about to be your fucking science experiment or whatever the fuck. Like, 3 times, nigga, or whoever. We gotta figure this out. you ain't got it in 3 times? Well, talk to Aladdin and figure out what he did to get his wishes, because I don't know. It's not happening.
Yo, oh
Well,
my God.
I hope that
crack it up.
somebody, man or woman who listened to this week's episode, you feel inspired to maybe tap into your submissive side if your person deserves it on this Valentine's Day or any day. Just try something new. They ask you to do something, bitch, just do it. We're gonna move on to Indecisive Diane, and when we come back, we're gonna answer some advice letters.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Indecisive Diane. And this week, boy, do I have a sugar daddy trick-off location for you. So there's a place that you'd never expect. It's called the Boiler Seafood Atlanta. Here's the address. It's 2425 Piedmont Road, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia. Go there. Thank me later, ladies. Bye.
Okay, guys, so welcome back, and it is time for the advice. Remember, if you would like to ask us a question, you can email us at askcocktails@gmail.com, and maybe we will read it on the show.
I like that you said maybe.
Yeah, maybe, because we're not reading all of them. I mean, some days when the letters get low, we might read some that weren't so great, but typically, no. All right. So, Medina, you got one pulled up already or no?
Yes,
because I
have one pulled up.
Okay, you have one? Okay, what's the subject?
The subject is urgent, a +1 with a side of dick.
Ooh, not urgent,
Okay.
bitch. All right.
Urgent. And she just sent this. Good, because sometimes y'all be saying urgent, it'd be a whole week later. I'd be like, dang, I'm sorry, sis. You probably done made all the wrong decisions.
I mean, it's still going to be a week later when she hears this, but...
Oh. Okay, she says, hey, y'all. I'll try to make this quick. I'm 27, going through a divorce, and have a 1-year-old baby girl. Oh, this sounds serious. There's a work party at the end of February, and I don't want to show up alone because everyone else will be with their significant others. There's a guy I met a few years ago, and I really just want to fly him out to Cali. This was perfect for submissives for this party. So go back to his hotel when it's over. Suck the soul out of his dick, and then send his ass right back to Miami.
Child.
Same day, round trip. I might even pay for his Uber. My problem is that he doesn't know that I ever even got married or had a baby. And I don't want to tell him because I don't want to turn him off and miss out on this dick appointment. I've been thinking about fucking this man since the day I met him. He is so damn fine and is the opposite of anyone I have ever dated. This man knows how to make me submissive. I didn't even read this before I picked this. This is crazy. And girl, when he does, it's just waterfalls. We've never actually talked about having sex, but he used to send me sex toys while I was deployed and definitely tried to fuck right before I left. How do I tell this man that I want to fly him out here just for a +1 and some dick? How do I ask him to get tested beforehand without ruining the vibes? Should I tell him about the pending divorce and the baby? I just want a little taste of him. But if that shit tastes good, we get married. Also, I haven't had sex since May 2019. When I got pregnant, I know, ghetto. These doctors done sewed my vagina up so damn tight that I can't even put a tampon in anymore. So I know sex will be painful.
What?
I'm suing somebody. And is your doctor black? I've been talking about black OBGYNs for a long time. You need a black OBGYN. So I know sex will be painful, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. I hope to be back with a cocktail or two. I had to snap a pic as I typed this so Medina can keep a lookout for my DM. Oh, okay. Hey girl, you are pretty. That's some nice hair. Is it yours? I just want to say this before y'all give her some advice because she was very specific. While normally I would say, don't hide your life and don't hide your kids. Don't tell that nigga about that baby. Fly him out if that's what you sound like you are really ready and you just want some dick. You don't want any other ties. Fly him out, pay for his Uber, do your thing. And you know, now we're all grown. You're 27. Asking for somebody's sexual stats for me, that's just for your health and his health. To me, it's responsible. I wish more people would do it. So I don't think it'll ruin the vibe unless if it ruins the vibe, he has something. If somebody's like, what, bitch? You want to know what I got? Yes, sir, I do.
He wants to tell you had that hurt. Okay, so this is what I think. I think that no man with good dick is going to turn out a fly out. These are the things that they dream about. This is why they come at bad bitches on Instagram all the time. They always want to have an attitude about people getting flued out and everything else, getting taken care of, having expensive dinners and all this other stuff. They want it to happen. So if you about to fly somebody out, hold on, young sir. If you about to fly somebody out, he is not going to decline. If he declines, then take that as a blessing because he didn't have nothing to deliver to you, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's why he don't want to fly out and get shamed because he know you're going to cancel that flight back home, even though you're probably going to buy a non-refundable ticket because bitch who's really spending all that money. Anyway, okay. I think that you will have a great time with him if he comes. Don't worry about it. I think that the thing that's probably stressing you out the most is like Medina said with the asking about his health and everything. Just let him know, listen, I'm trying to have a wild time, okay? And I don't want to be paranoid about anything. I would feel way more comfortable if we both throw yourself in there. If we both go and get tested, let's share results so that we can just have a great weekend with no holds barred. Bam. He not going to say no. Because you know they never want to wrap it up. You know they don't.
They don't.
Sure don't.
Go for it, girl. You have a good time.
Do your thing. Live out your dream. Fly that nigga out. I'm proud of you that you can fly that nigga out.
I would definitely say, too, like, it is important to note, like, are you trying to have, like, a whole extended shit with this man? Because I feel like, you know, if you're not actually trying to have a whole serious relationship with him and you're just trying to fly him out for some dick, say that. Make sure you don't have your baby so he ain't throwed. That's the first order of business. Like, tell him about the baby if you gonna have the fucking baby with you. But if you're not,
oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, if it's just for a weekend or for however long, and it's just for this party and it's just for the dick appointment and that's it, then like I definitely feel like not telling him about all the intimate shit of your life because that's not what you're trying to do with him. Mm-hmm. But if you actually gonna have your baby with you, I think it is important to say, I will have my child. I have a child. I will have my child with me at some point when you see me, when you're here.
You better not have that baby with you. That's all I'm saying. You sound real prepared and ready, bitch. But, get a babysitter. You can fly the nigga out, you can get a babysitter.
Agree with Medina, like, ask that motherfucker to get tested for you. Don't be like, oh, it's gonna ruin. No, fuck that. If it ruins the mood, first of all, the mood from like days, even a week before, it's gonna ruin the future mood. Bullshit. So like, nah, it's not. No. Protect yourself. Get that motherfucker tested. And if he gets upset about you asking about him getting tested before he comes out, don't fuck him.
That's all that means. He has something.
Do not fuck him.
Exactly. So, okay. Next advice. This one says phone sex, prison beau.
Phone sex what?
Prison beau. Like boyfriend. Now, baby girl, I've already put you on the prayer list, but let's see. All right. Hey, ladies. I hope you guys are staying healthy and getting wealthy. So it's kind of a lot, so let's get into it. Recently, I met a pen pal. We will call him James. He's 27 and has 4 to 5 years left in his sentence.
Oh. Hey, James. We're adding you to the prayer list as well, sir.
His sentence was not murder or anything crazy like that. Well, bitch, what'd he do? If he got 4 to 5 years left, you left that part out. So we've been writing each other for a while. I finally gave him my phone number, so he calls frequently now. The conversation of sex comes up, and he discusses positions and etc. Me, on the other hand, I just brush it off and move on to the next subject, which is what? Only because my pussy and my heart are together, and I do not want to get attached to someone whom I can't physically touch and have to smack my ass occasionally. Okay. However, I'm starting to really like this man, so here's the tricky part for me. Today he asked me to look up a sex website. It has tons of toys, nipple clamps, etc. Now, I'm not really a girl who masturbates.
You're not?
Because
Well,
I always
you need to send in it a different advice.
Did that for me. Okay. I already know where this advice is about to go because we could really stop right here. But because I always had someone who did that for me. Like, I've never used a toy before in all of my 26 years of life.
Oh, baby.
Do you send us your addresses?
Okay, but wait. But listening to you guys talk about playing with toys, it has me interested. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
The only thing I don't know how to get out of the feeling of being weird and awkward zone to have technically phone sex with James. So my question is, how was y'all's first time using toys? Any tips, tricks, do's, and don'ts? And also, once I open up that chapter with Prison Bae, there's not turning back.
There isn't?
Oh, I think she meant there's no turning back, and I've been hurt before, and I don't want to be let down again, especially by a man I can't pop up on and smack. Oh goddamn! You gonna smack his ass? Kick down
wait,
the
I'm
door
a little
and smack
confused. Let
the
down
chick.
how? Because this
Sounds
is
like an
interest
episode of Love.
It's not like she waited
Did
for
you
it.
meet him while
I'm
he
just a
was
little
still
confused.
in prison? It sounds like she met him while he was locked up. Like she sent him some fan mail.
I actually think she did meet him that way. She didn't say that she met him outside and he went in. Okay, anyway. My other question, okay, so besides like how do you use a sex toy basically? My other question is, how do you guys separate your heart from your pussy? Thank you for the advice in advance. Stay healthy and wealthy, ladies. Sent from Masturbation Toy Virgin. Man. Okay, so first of all, I'm glad that we have given you a little bit of confidence to like even want to try toys. I will say this. Think about you've had sex and you feel like you've had somebody who's done it for you before. Get in for a roller coaster ride, baby girl. Because whatever a person has done is not the same as a machine. It's like the most simple way I can explain it to you is get a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, some sort of writing utensil. Draw a straight line with no help. Go on the computer, create a straight line and print that shit and look at how different they look. That's how different it's going to be. This is a machine that is built for this. And it doesn't mean that you have to X out people and like the human aspect of it because there is something different. I enjoy both. And if
it's
you
just
can put
adding
them
a little
together,
HD.
Yeah, it's like, bitch, this is 4K. And you was over there on 720p on a VHS or some bullshit, you know, from third grade. That's not what you want. Now, with this nigga being in the prison, I'm gonna skip over why you're bothering with this, and I'm just gonna say, like, to separate your heart from your pussy with this situation, you're not gonna be able to. I don't think, because I feel like it's already intertwined. You've already, for whatever reason, because it doesn't seem like you've even touched this man before, you are just in too deep. Going forward, you've got to work on establishing boundaries and figuring out what you want from a person and what you're willing to give. And then also figure out, through conversation, not by assumptions, what do they want from you and what are they willing to give? And then you figure out which part in the middle is going to be the truth.
Because when he gets out of jail, he might just need a place to stay. And
baby girl, watch Love After Lockup.
Please.
On WeTV. This is not an ad.
At all.
Please watch it so that you can get some insight. If you know anybody who might be a probation officer, parole officer, or something, talk to them too and ask them about what they do. People who go to prison, and I'm not even trying to be funny with y'all. People who go to prison, when they have people on the outside, they usually encourage them to get on pen pal websites, meet somebody who is going to help you because you're going to need help when you get out, if you get out.
And so, sis, keep that in mind because you over here asking us about how to get started using toys, and I am worried about your safety and you need
Bitch,
to
buy
just...
the toy and charge it up. That's how you get started with that. Just put it on. Whatever body part it goes on. If you want if you're actually looking for recommendations, send us an email again. We can both send you like some good stuff that we like.
Yeah.
As a default, get a magic wand. Get a magic wand. If you're comfortable with dildos, go to an actual store where you can feel the material. Especially if it's your first time and you're not really sure, because they're made out of different material. You got glass, you got silicone, you got all different kinds of firmness and softness. So figure out what feels good to you. I would definitely say maybe play with yourself first before getting a toy. Explore your own body and kind of understand the kind of sensations that you enjoy. Because also, like, just in general, I think it's important to understand your own body even before taking on a partner, because I don't think it's fair to expect a partner to understand your body better than you do. And It's not realistic either. So explore yourself, understand what feels good to you, go to a store if you can. I know it's COVID time, so that's probably going to be mad difficult. So if you can, go to a store and find certain materials. But as a default, I say get yourself a wand. I definitely love me some magic wands. It doesn't have to be a Hitachi, that's brand name. But like something of the like, love them Johns. The vibes is great. As far as this man, I think phone sex is amazing. I also really like that he sent you a website to get some toys. There's a lot of dudes who are actually mad insecure about women using toys.
He needs a place to stay. This nigga is trying to do whatever he need to do because he's not even really gonna be wanting to fuck. He hopes she uses that toy.
He needs a way to in the meantime. He got 4 to 5 years. He's not even worried about a place to stay right now. He's not getting out. He is gonna bust that nut before somebody busts up in him. We all know.
And then separating like your heart from you, that's completely up to you. Like, if you don't know how to do that or you're not that kind of person, it's extremely important to know that about yourself. So like, knowing that about yourself and knowing that you aren't really capable of doing that at this time, I think you should then determine whether or not you feel like it's safe or worth it to continue with somebody that you feel like you actually need to separate those things with. So, like, if you feel like you actually have to separate the two with this person, and you don't think you're capable of doing that, yeah, then what are we doing, baby? What are we doing?
I hope cute. He probably fine as fuck. This sounds like the victim of somebody who has met somebody who is fine as fuck. And I'm not being funny with you, baby girl, because I've been there. Them fine niggas, they mean nothing. Especially when they are locked up. Clink, clink, what can he do for you? He can't even come hug you if you having a bad day. Like, think about that. You have a stressful day at work or some shit. Your mama pissed you off. Your cousin pissed you off. You get a flat tire. What can he do?
And
wait for you to call him on JPay.
You gotta be ready.
I want to know, what did he do to get in prison? Because she was like, he ain't doing anything crazy, but he got 5 more years.
Mm-hmm. And what did he do to meet you and to get your interest in the? All right, so but even outside
of the backstory, because now we just being nosy, but we
now I'm interested.
How did this happen? Like,
this is an interesting story. I always wonder these things. That's why I'm obsessed with that damn show.
But the last thing I will say is this: if you are trying to be around for when this man gets out, first of all, make sure you ask yourself why. Make sure you ask yourself why and be very real with yourself about that. Second of all, ask yourself if you're really ready to deal with the mental and emotional support that you're going to need to give this man, because prison is some serious shit. Like, psychologically, like mentally and emotionally, it is not easy. It don't matter why you're in there. You're fucking in there.
You're in there. And I also feel like you've been keeping him a secret from your family. You need to tell your mom and your sister what you've been doing and who you've been talking to, so they can smack some sense into you.
And you will need support.
She ain't telling them because she want to hang on.
Yeah.
There's so many people out here. So, like, if you... Why do you feel like he's worth it? I just need to know. Like, again, it's not even to stigmatize this man. I don't know why he's in jail, but he is in there. It will affect him. You know, so this is a really, like, this is serious. Like, this is a really big thing.
Years.
Yeah.
This is 7.
She's like, look, bitches, I just want to know what toy to use.
I know. I'm just
she
saying,
also asked
know,
about
like,
separating her heart from her pussy, so she has some feelings up in there.
Yeah, so, like, if you already feel like you have some type of feelings for this man, and you... So, again...
Hey, girl, we done gave you an hour of advice.
I'm just trying to prepare.
Hopefully
like,
the cocktails can
I
help
don't know
you
what's
as well.
going to happen. So if you can go, I guess to some, summary, if you can go in person to a store and feel different textures and see what feels good to you, great. If not, I always think it's good to default to a wand, start there, and then also look up websites that have like body safe materials and stuff like that. And then, again, ask yourself some very pertinent questions in regards to this man. Are you really trying to establish an in-depth relationship with him? Why? And do you think that you are really prepared to deal with what would come with that after he gets out? And are you also ready to make sure you're properly supported? Like they said, like, does your family know that you're talking to this man in any way?
They don't know.
Girl,
I know
after
somebody.
you have phone sex with him, send us your cocktail. Because I know you
send us your cocktail.
I'm not listening to none of this shit. I'm going to get this wine that Miss Arazel said to get.
I know somebody that she did this. She was talking to somebody in prison, and he became her boyfriend. He got out. He moved in with her and killed her and her whole family.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, was he in there for murder originally?
I don't know. I actually don't know, but he was great. Like Arazel was saying, sometimes you don't know where people are at mentally, and prison does make some people just unstable.
It makes it worse. You could go in just fine and come out all fucked up. Yeah. So you got to be ready. Like, really ask yourself the pertinent questions.
Okay, so now it is, do that. But now it's time for us to move on to the cocktails, the end of the show.
If I want fuck, I'm gon' fuck 'em. But if he ain't got a buck, I won't cuff 'em. Spend 100 on me, it ain't nothing. Run a double D, so stuck 'em. Back to the point, is it some cash in this place? If it is, I'll probably see the stats in your face, turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a
So, if you have a cocktail sexual confession that you would like to share with us, email it to us, cocktails@atl@gmail.com, and just maybe we'll read it on the show. I want to share more cocktails with you, but I ain't got one today. But this one that I have pulled up, it came from somebody that had a really good weekend. Ooh. And I think this is my friend.
Oh,
I know, right? So I'm going to read this one. And I want you guys to think of yours. Hopefully you have original pieces like on the Apollo. Remember when they came out on the Apollo and they were like, tonight I'm going to perform an original piece. Mm-hmm. And they used to get booed by the Sandman, but y'all won't get booed. Okay. So I'm going to read one because, yeah. Okay, so this one says, hey girls, hey. This is my first time submitting a cocktail, but hopefully it won't be my last. So let's get straight to it. I met this guy a few weeks ago on Instagram. He's been following me for a while, and he finally DMs me. We chit-chat for a bit, exchange numbers, and begin texting. Within the first few hours of conversation, he sends me a dick pic. I was like, what the fuck? Why he do that? You know why. If I was one to be easily offended, I would have been, but I'm not. So I just sent it to all my homegirls. It was a decent dick, thereby earning him the nickname Captain Hook. So the captain and I continue conversing, and he wants to take me out. I blow him off like 3 times, and then I finally give in. We have a great time just talking and drinking, and we end up fucking the same night. And to my surprise, it was good. So I decided to keep him around for a while since I've been in a drought. Okay, to the cocktail. We meet up a second time, have sex again. It's even better that time. I don't want a relationship with this guy. I'm just having fun getting my itch scratched on the regular. So we decided to meet last night, and prior to us getting together, I remember I have some sheet orgasms that I had never tried. They weren't even open. I wasn't interested in taking the supplement because lubrication has never been a problem for me. That's what people always be saying. But baby, this is HD. Anyway, but my girls tell me it does more than that. So I say, fuck it. I'm sure they won't hurt anything. I take 4 off the rip. I shower, shave, and throw on my Sneaky Link outfit. I need to get a Sneaky Link outfit. I don't have one. Do y'all have one? Sneaky Link? When you sneaking out to go on your little whole trip, do y'all have a little outfit that you wear?
Oh,
To the airport?
I have a few.
I mean, bitch, if you getting flued out, I guess. But I just meant like up the street. You might be going to the Gator or something. I don't know. All right, well, that's not so sneaky, bitch. We gonna see you. You gotta show your ID and like get gas. Anyway, we know what you on. Okay. Okay, I had to meet him about an hour after I took the pills. I'm smoking on the way to meet him, and I feel good. I get there, we smoke some more and make small talk. He asks me if I miss him. I tell him no, not at all. He calls me over to him. I walk over and stand between his legs. He wraps his arms around my waist and begins kissing and licking on my neck. My tights were wet before I even got up to walk over to him. Y'all, it felt like there was a faucet running in my pussy. I was so damn wet. He got undressed, and after I kicked off my tennis shoes, he took off my panties and tights in one swift motion. I love that shit. I scoot back to the center of the bed, and he crawls over to me slowly and spreads my legs. I didn't even want head. I just wanted dick. He kisses me, and I feel like his dick is as hard as a brick of pure white against my pussy. Ooh, bitch,
All
okay.
white bricks.
A brick of pure white. Okay.
He moves to reposition himself with his tongue in my mouth and slides in with no guidance from his hands. I can hear the nigga slide into me. That's how wet I am. I moan in his mouth on contact. He grinds in me real slow a few times. Then he reaches down and cups both my ass cheeks, forcing my knees to my chest, and goes to work on my ass. He's pumping me and deep stroking, and the nigga touched one of my kidneys. No lie. I come quickly. He lets my legs go. He pulls out, busts on my pussy, and rubs his dick on the outer lips real slow. I love it. And he slides right back in. He's fucking me and making the sexiest low grunts, and I'm moaning. I'm having an out-of-body experience. It feels like my soul has transcended my body and it's floating above me. I'm super sensitive to his touch and very much aroused. The feeling is overwhelming, and I come again. He's so in tune with what I need. It's just so amazing. He says, let's move to our position. He pulls out and puts me on my side and positions himself beside me. He slides in, and my liver quivers. He's stroking me. Okay, not the liver, bitch. He's stroking me. He pulls my ponytail and sucks my earlobe. Now he's fucking me hard. I start shaking. I squirt everywhere. He stops and then immediately starts again. We continue for so long, I have zero energy, and I finally start begging him to come. So he says, you said you ain't miss me, but I can tell you did. This motherfucker pulsating on me. He can feel it. I come again. Hard. Y'all, I came 5 times, and he finally pulls out and busted on my ass. Everything was wet. He looks at the bed and says, goddamn! We both wash up, get dressed, and leave to head home. I'm in the car driving. And I can still feel the sheet orgasms. I could feel his lips on my neck. There was tingling on my shoulder and in my arms. My ears tingled. And my clit, it felt like when you get your hair washed with that peppermint shampoo and the cool air hits your scalp after the wash. Like somebody was constantly blowing cool air on the pussy. Y'all, he beat it good. Going forward, I'm a proud supporter and an advocate for sheet orgasms, and I advise all the ladies to order some. Thanks for reading And thanks for giving us women a platform to not be ashamed of our sexuality, but to embrace it. This concludes my TED Talk. Happy fucking and sucking to all, and to all a good night. Love, Puddles.
Puddles, because that was a TED Talk. That was like,
she had a good night.
She had I love a good night like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Where you just feel it everywhere on your body,
finish.
and it's just like, ooh, good God Almighty.
And I know that feeling of begging someone to come, not because you really just want to go home, but because you're just like, I can't do this anymore. It feels so good. Just please.
You gotta stop. I want you to finish, but goddamn, because I'm about to go to sleep.
I just also want to say I'm always jealous of girls that like allow men to nut on their pussies and then go back in. I get mad. I'd be like, now I'm pregnant. And I know it.
Let me suck it first, at least. Clean it up a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
I like to do that sometimes, if their dicks are pretty.
Okay, Arazel, you are next with your cocktail.
Oh, shit. Damn, there's a few swimming in my head. I'm going to have to choose one. Shit. Let me see. Okay. All right. So, damn, did I want to talk about that one time? Or the other time? Okay, all right. So, there's this one lover that I had fucking around with, some Scorpio. You already know. So, I think one of his favorite things to do, which I really enjoyed, was like basically talk shit on his way over. So we would constantly be texting and like building up the tension. You know, so we talk about what we wanted to do to each other, like thinking about each other. He would tell me that like his heart is he'd be like, my heart always beats fast on my way to seeing you. Ooh, which I love that shit. I'm like, yes, tell me more about me. I love the effect. Like, tell me like how I'm affecting you right now. I like that shit. So, all right. So this one time he popped up. He's on his way over, and he, you know, the moment I open the door, we start making out. Oh, God, he just grips me up. I like that shit a lot. He picks me up, carries me up the steps to my room, and we making out and shit. And, you know, my room is set up. I have my bed, like, right in the middle of the shits and all of that. And this whole experience, it was actually some new shit for me because, so we in here, all right, so first order of business is we making out, we talking that shit. I like talking shit, low-key. I also love when people talk shit to me like that. Ooh, just tell me all of it. Give me all of it. Tell me. Yo, and then, all right, so we're making out. Obviously, I have to suck his dick. He eats me out. But what's wild, so, all right, so I got the playlist going. The music is syncing up perfectly. You got some Arazel going and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta got the playlist going. That's like magic in the background and shit. So all the shit that's going on in the music is also what's happening. What, you know, so we looking in each other's eyes and shit. I'm riding him, which was one of my favorite things to do. I like riding him and looking into his motherfucking eyes. He would look in my eyes. He would tell me I was beautiful. Often he's like, you were so beautiful. And I'm like, yes, worship me, motherfucker. So, what was wild, we started 69ing. Now, this never happened to me before. We started 69ing, right? I'm a squirter. I'm actually kind of a gusher. I gush, okay? So we're 69 and this shit. He's like, yo, come sit on my face. I'm like, yes, daddy. So I go and sit on his face, and then obviously I'm gonna suck his dick. And we're around the same height, so it works out well. Fantastic. So we're doing this. Yo, so, you know, I'm sucking his dick. He's eating me out. I'm on top of him. Fantastic. We both came at the same time.
I love
that. I'm like, yo, we both came at the same fucking time. And like, what was fucking wild was like, he came, like, since I was coming, and I was like, I immediately obviously opened my mouth to be like, fuck. But then, you know, his dick goes down deeper into my throat. So at this point, a bitch would choke, right? I didn't fucking choke. Instead, it's almost like a bitch got gills or something. Like, I was able to breathe through the dick. So he's coming down my throat as I'm coming all on his face. And like, so we're coming at the same time, but like I can still breathe even though his dick was like, you know, deep down my throat and shit. Yo, and it was almost like I could feel the energy cycling between us in that moment.
That's crazy.
So we're just like, yo, it was fucking wild. I've never had that shit happen to me before. I was like,
wish that
wow.
I could get head like that. I am not a good head giver.
God.
And I would let you know that beforehand. I'm lazy.
Age catches up to you.
It does.
I didn't even expect. I was like, how could I bring you through the dick? I didn't know. And I could even do that. But it happened. It was like something happened, and it was just like he came, and it was like bloof, and I was and it's down my throat.
That sounds like a superpower.
And I was still able to breathe. Whew.
That sounds like a superpower, girl. You inspired me to work on my skills. But listen, Arazel, it was so nice to have you on. I hope that people want to get submissive for Valentine's Day. I feel like they won't, but they might. Tell everybody what you have going on, where they can find you before we wrap things up.
So, you did ask if I had an OnlyFans earlier. I do have an OnlyFans. You can find me there. La Sirene Noir. So LASIRENENOIRE. So it means the Black Mermaid in French.
Okay.
So if you look up the Black Mermaid and convert it to French, La Sirene Noir, it's me. So that's my OnlyFans. You can find me on Instagram. Deva Arazel, THEDEVAARAZEL. I know, long
I
ass
was reading
names,
that as
whatever.
Diva.
I was too. I thought your name was Diva.
I mean, the word diva does come from that word Deva. So it's like, it is the same shit. They're derived from the same thing. Exactly. And then, that's actually what my first name means. And then I have a Twitter. And on Twitter, my name is Zerlina Divine. So Zerlina is spelled with an X. So XERLINA. Divine, not spelled with the two I's, is actually spelled DEVINE. And yeah, so Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans, Find a Hoe.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And you guys, remember, as always, you need to sign up for our Patreon. We release new bonus episodes every single week on Mondays. So we have all kind of content on there. Whenever you join, not only do you get access to new content, but you get access to everything that we've posted in the past. And we also have a live tonight, actually, when you hear it. So it'll be tonight. It's a special Valentine's Day. We're doing something special, and we're going to try and do more just different things with our patrons. So sign up. It's patreon.com/CockTales. I'll put a link in the description box. Also, we have merch available. Link in the link in the description box for you to be able to purchase everything. And then Paradise and Vibe, are tickets still available?
Tickets are still available.
So I'll put a link for that.
The single rooms are out, but if you don't mind rooming, you might end up being my roommate. The double rooms are still available, so make sure you guys sign up for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put a link for that. And then also, of course, the digital version of my cookbook is still available. Please buy it, cook something. Maybe you want to cook something special for Valentine's Day, a nice hearty meal. And if you might be a lazy girl who doesn't want to have sex, I've got some heavy meals in there. And it's going to put that nigga to sleep. And you got to worry about it, okay? And if you want to know which one's going to knock him out first, let me know. So I got something light. If you need him to be up, maybe like the salmon piccata, chicken piccata is light enough. You can pair that with some pasta. Or if you want him to be knocked the fuck out, you know, you need to hit him with that fried catfish with the crawfish etouffee on top. It's lots of things in there that you could do, you know.
And you know, after you knock that nigga out, if y'all not gonna have sex and you just want him to hear some sex, go ahead and go on over to Dipsy.com, pull up one of my stories, use code Medina, get a little discount to listen for free. And it's nasty, just like it's y'all. Your pussy gonna get wet, he gonna be asleep. Grab your toy, go to work.
Okay, and if that shit dry, or even if you think it's wet and you ain't never had it before, go to sheorgasms.com and order you a little pack.
It's a one-stop shop.
Okay, we got all kind of recommendations for y'all. Go to She Orgasms and get your pills because they'll be here before Valentine's Day if you hurry up and order. Hopefully they won't be sold out by the time you hear this. But yeah, the show what Splashwater Walls is hitting for. Okay,
come on, baby girl.
All right. Now, with that being said, remember, our email, if you want to advertise on our show, if you want to collaborate with us, any of that good stuff, you can email us, cocktails@atl@gmail.com. Patreon, again, please sign up and support us. It's patreon.com/cocktails. You can follow us on Instagram. We are at Cocktails Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
And I'm at Coffee Bean Bean.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the track. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Wait on the track. Wait on